Good morning, students. This is your Maths 1 online teaching session. Today also, we are going to continue with our second chapter, that is quadratic equation part 3. In the previous session, we have finished with roots of quadratic equation or solution of quadratic equation and solved few sums based on this from exercise 2.1. Let us quickly revise the basic definition. Any value of the variable which satisfies the given quadratic equation is called as root or solution of the quadratic equation. I hope you remember this definition. Yes? What are we going to learn today in this session? We are going to learn methods of finding solution to quadratic equation. Basically, there are three methods of finding solution to quadratic equation in your textbook. The first method is factorization method, second is formula method, and third is completing square method. At the beginning of this chapter itself, I have told you that there are few things which have been omitted from the syllabus for this year. So this third method, that is completing square method, you don't have to study. You just have to study these two different methods, factorization method and formula method. You don't have to study completing square method. It means that even exercise 2.3 has been omitted. Okay, make a note of it. Now let's start with factorization method. I'll explain you quickly the method. You have already learned this in 8th and 9th standard. Let's see the basic concept. It is called factoring or factorization because we find the factors. Now what is the meaning of the word factor? Factor is something we multiply by. Suppose I give you an example of 6. What are the factors of 6? 6 can be written as 2 into 3. Yes or no? It means that 2 is also a factor of 6. Even 3 is a factor of 6. I hope you know this, correct? Now let us relate it with our quadratic equation. I have written here general form of quadratic equation. I hope you remember it. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. The first step of factorization is find two numbers that multiply to give AC. Means what? You need to first find the product of the first and the last term. Correct? First and the last term. So let us take this example here. What is the first term? 2. What is the last term here? 3. I need to multiply this to give, which will give me AC. So 3 2s is nothing but 6. Correct? And then add to get B. So that what I got as a product, I should add it so that I get this middle term B. Okay. Now let's see how it can be done. 3 into 2 is 6. Now I need to find two numbers like that. When I multiply this, I should get 6. And when I add those two numbers, I should get this middle term, that is 7. So possible way of factorizing 6 is what? Either I write it as 2 into 3, yes, or I write 6 as 6 into 1. Correct? Now, which one is correct out of this? As such, factors both are correct. 6 into 1 also gives me 6 and 2 into 3 also gives me 6. But for this particular sum, when I add this 2 plus 3, am I getting this middle term 7? No, we get 2 plus 3 as 5. It means that this factor is incorrect. When I take this 6 plus 1, am I getting the middle term as 7? Yes, it means that this factor is correct. I hope you have understood and recollected in fact what you have learned. This is what you have learned in your lower standards. It was a polynomial C and you used to factorize it and get the answer. What is the additional thing you are going to learn in this 10th standard is instead of polynomial it will be an equation which will be equated to 0 and you have to get the answer of x, the value of x. Correct? So now let's see how it can be done. I hope you have understood this. So this is the first sum of practice set 2.2, right? The question is x square minus 15x plus 54 is equal to 0. Now I don't have to tell you anything extra in this except the last few steps which are written here. Okay, how to get the value of x. These initial steps you should remember because you have already learned. Let us quickly revise. Product of the first and the last term. First term is nothing, it is not having any coefficient, just x square. So it is 1. 1 into 54 is what? 54. So this product 54 is to be factorized in such a way that I should get this middle term minus 15. Okay. Now I will be telling you specific rules of factorization. If you want, you can make a note of it wherever you are solving the sums. The first rule is, if the product is positive, you can see plus 54 it is, product is positive and sum is negative, both the factors should be negative. Again I am repeating the rule. If the product is positive, sum is negative, both the factors should be negative. Okay. Now 54 can be factorized as 27 into 2 or 18 into 3. So many different ways. Correct. But if I take 27 into 2, I am not going to get this 15. 18 into 3, again I am not going to get this 15. So I am going to take 54. I am going to split 54 in fact as the two factors as 9 and 6, and just now I have told you that both the factors should be negative. Now let me check whether both the conditions are satisfied. Minus 9 minus 6 is nothing but minus 15. I got the middle term. Then product, minus into minus is first of all plus, 9 6 is 54. I got the product also. Okay, so the factors of 15 are minus 9 and minus 6. After this what? Let us combine these two terms together and take common. X square minus 9x. X can be taken common. What will be left is x minus 9. Okay. Now next thing is, if the third term is negative, as you can see here it is minus 6. So we are going to take that minus outside. Rule is, when you take minus outside, sign inside the bracket will change. So this plus 54, I will change it now here to minus here. Okay. I hope you are understanding it. So see this, minus 6x plus 54. I am going to take minus 6 common. So out of minus 6x, if minus 6 is common, what will be left is x. 54 divided by 6. How much? 9. I hope you are understanding it. So this way I am getting these two factors, and at this step, it is a clue to remember, both these factors should be identical. If you are getting it different, 100% your answer is wrong. Check all the previous steps. Okay. So instead of writing it two times like this, I will write it as x minus 9, x minus 6 is equal to 0. Till here you have learned in 9th standard, where you are not equating it to 0, you are simply leaving this as a final answer. What additional step we have to learn here now? That you have to equate it to 0, and the property that will be used is this. If the product of two numbers is 0, at least one of them is 0. Means what? See, these are two numbers, first number and second number. If the product is 0, then at least one of them is 0. Either x minus 9 is 0 or x minus 6 is 0. So from here you can very easily get the value of x. Shift this minus 9 here and minus 6 here. You will get x as 9 or x as 6. Okay. Final answer is 9, 6 are the roots of the given quadratic equation. So I hope you have recollected and understood the new additional steps that I have told you in this sum. Okay. Now let us move to the second sum. The second sum is 2y square plus 27y plus 13 is equal to 0. Now see, the first term is 2. The last term is 13. Product of the first and the last term is 13 2s are 26. Now I need to factorize this 26 in such a way that I get the middle term, that is 27. Now another rule of factorization is, when the product is a number and sum is the consecutive number, please write it somewhere so that you will not do any mistake in such type of sums. Okay. What is the rule? If the product is a number and sum is consecutive the next number, always the two roots will be the number itself and 1. Okay. Again I am repeating this rule. If the product is a number, see 26, and sum is the consecutive number, immediately the next number 27, see 27, then the rule is always the factors will be that number itself and 1. Okay. So I have given you the two factors. Write the steps accordingly and get the answer. So see this, 26y plus 1y. 1y is as good as y. Take common. Again you are getting this same bracket, y plus 13 and y plus 13. It means what we are doing is correct. Two factors are 2y plus 1 and y plus 13 is equal to 0. Equate it to 0. Same property we are going to use and get the value of y as minus 1 upon 2 and minus 13. I am not explaining it in detail because I hope you are understanding the steps. See this one, 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. So what after this one step I have not written. If you want, you can write that 2y will be equal to minus 1. Yes or no? 1 can be shifted this side, will become minus 1. So y is nothing but what? Minus 1 upon 2. That is the reason I have written here y as minus 1 upon 2. Okay. So I hope you have understood this sum also with all the steps. Write the final answer. Minus 1 upon 2 and minus 13 are the roots of the given equation. Okay. Let's see the next sum. 2x square minus 2x plus 1 upon 2 is equal to 0. Now see this. I have selected this sum purposely because now there is a fraction involved here. Nothing different. First step, get rid of that fraction. Multiplying both the sides by 2. Yes, both the sides. Throughout the equation you multiply by 2. So this term when I multiply by 2, what will I get? 4x square. This term when I multiply by 2, minus 4x. And this term when I multiply by 2, 2 and 2 will get cancelled. We will get only 1. I hope you understood how do we get this. Yes, multiplying both the sides by 2. We got this equation. Now take the product of the first and the last term. 1 into 4. Yes, 1 into 4 is 4. The possible factors of 4 are either I take 4 into 1 or I take 4 as 2 and 2. Correct? Now what rule I have told you, that if the product is positive, see this, and the sum is negative, both the factors should be negative. So it means it has to be minus 2 and minus 2. Yes or no? Or minus 4 and minus 1. Why this is not right? Because minus 4 and minus 1 is giving me minus 5. And what is the middle term here? Minus 4. That is the reason this is incorrect. Look at this. Minus 2 and minus 2. Is it giving me minus 4? Yes. Take the product. Minus into minus plus 2 2's is 4. So I am getting both the conditions satisfied here when I take the factors as minus 2 and minus 2x and minus 2x. Similarly now proceed and take common. You will find that both the factors are same. 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Yes. So again that same rule. If the product is 0, then at least one of them is 0. Both the factors are same. Yes or no? So I am not writing it 2 times that 2x minus 1 is 0 or 2x minus 1 is 0 and then getting x here and x here. I am getting it only once, that x is equal to 1 upon 2. How do I get this? See, 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Look at this equation. Shift this 1 this side. What we get? 2x is equal to 1. Yes. So x will be equal to, shift that to that side, it will be 1 upon 2. Since both the brackets are same, 1 upon 2 are the roots of the given equation. You need to write the final answer even though they are equal roots or same roots. You need to write this 2 as a final answer. Okay. So 1 upon 2 are the roots of the given equation. I hope you have understood this. It was not different. It was only that the question was having a fraction. First additional step was to get rid of that fraction and then it was similar. Now look at this. It is having root, but trust me, it is absolutely easy. Do not get afraid seeing the root. Product of the first and the last term. Be careful while taking the product. What is the product? See, it is 5, correct? Root 2 into root 2. Product of the first and the last term. So what do I get? 5 will be as it is. I hope you remember root 2 into root 2 is 2. So what do we get the product as? 10. 5 2's are 10. Now 10 I have to factorize in such a way so that I get this middle term as 7. Please write along with me what I am writing. So 10. 10 is to be factorized so that I get this 7. So possible way is 5 and 2. Yes, plus 5 and plus 2. Plus 5 and plus 2 is plus 7. 5 2's is 10. So easily we have got the factors. It looks so difficult, but see how easily we have got the factors. One important care that has to be taken at this step is we have written 7 as 5 and 2. That is the first step. Okay. Now how to take common? See this. Combine two terms together and try to take common these two together. Right. So x is common. Root 2x plus 5. Now when I combine this, how to take common in this? As such I cannot see anything common. But can we write this 2 as root 2 into root 2? Yes or no? I am not changing the question at all. Only this 2 is written as root 2 into root 2. Now when I write this 2 as root 2 into root 2, yes or no, then I can take this root 2 common. If you want, you can increase this one more step. Write 2 as root 2 into root 2 and then you can take common. Okay, so when you take common from 2, this is written as root 2 into root 2, correct? This is written as root 2 into root 2. So now from that root 2 will be common. What will be left? Root 2x. From this root 2 is outside. What is left? Plus 5. Okay. So at this step, see, both the brackets are identical. So final answer will be x plus root 2 and root 2x plus 5 will be the factors of it that can be equated to 0. Now individually get the answer. Either x plus root 2 is equal to 0 or root 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. Shift this root to this side, it will become minus root 2. Okay, now when I shift this 5 this side, it will first become minus 5 and then this root 2 also will go down and divide. It will become minus 5 upon root 2. See this answer. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. It looks so difficult. Just increase one step here if you want. Write this 2 as root 2 into root 2 into x and then you try to take common. It will become easy. Okay, similar to what we have done in the previous sums. So these are the two answers of it. I hope you have understood all the steps. Exactly same time is the next question. Yes, I have increased one step here for you. Let's see how it can be done. The first thing is product of the first and the last term. 3 into 2 is 6. Right? Now 6 I need to factorize. Try to understand it. 6 I need to factorize so that I get this minus 2 root 6. The first thing is, it's a whole number. I have to split it in such a way that I get the addition of it as a surd. Yes, whenever you have such things, when a whole number is to be split in such a way that you get something as root, first thing you remember that you write it as root 6 and root 6. Both the factors will have this term. Unless and until it is having root 6 and root 6, you cannot add it. I hope you remember like surds can be added. So you cannot add it. I am not saying what should be the factors. I am just telling you the initial steps. What are the initial steps? First take the product of the first and the last term. Done. That is how much? 6. Correct? Then you look at the middle term. Middle term is having root 6. So you first write both the factors will have root 6 and root 6. Now we will think what should be the factor. I want minus 2. Yes? If I write simply here minus 1 and here minus 1. Yes, see minus 1 root 6 minus 1 root 6 minus 1 is what? Minus 2 minus 2 root 6. I am getting this middle term. I hope you are understanding it. It's little tricky. Try to understand. When I add this 2, I get the middle term. Let us multiply it. First thing is minus into minus is plus. Correct? And root 6 into root 6 is 6. So I get plus 6 as a product. Again I am repeating the steps. Do not worry, it is easy. First step is what? Take product of first and the last term. So 3 2s is 6. I got the product. Since the middle term is having root 6, correct? So both the factors I am first only writing root 6 and root 6. Then I will think how I will get that middle term. It's minus 2, right? It's as easy as minus root 6 and minus root 6. If I don't write 1, I hope you understand. Minus 1 is minus 2. See, we get this minus 2 root 6. Okay, so this is our first step. I hope you have understood this, that the first step is to split minus 2 root 6 as minus root 6 and minus root 6. Okay, now let us try to take common. In order to take common, so that you understand, I have increased this particular step. If you don't want, you don't write. It is absolutely depending on you. Okay, what I have done in this step so that you understand. This 3 is purposely written as root 3 into root 3 and this x square as it is, no change. Correct? Root 6x is root 6 particularly is written as root 3 into root 2. See, root 3 into root 2, 3 2s is 6, that is root 6. Again this root 6 is written as root 3 into root 2 and this 2 finally is written as root 2 into root 2. Okay, do not worry, it is not difficult. I am repeating the steps again, just see. This 3 is written as root 3 into root 3. First step, x square as it is. 6, root 6 is written as root 3 into root 2. Root 6 is written as root 3 into root 2. And 2 is written as root 2 into root 2. I hope you are understanding it. Okay. Now, I'll tell you the reason why I have written it. When I write like this, it becomes easy for me to understand when I am taking common. See, root 3 is here. Yes, let's see what can be taken common. From these two, root 3 is here, root 3 is here, 1x is here and 1x is here. So what I can take common? Root 3x. Correct? So from this, root 3x is out. What will be left? Root 3x. Because it was x square. Only 1x is out. So 1x will be left inside. Okay? Then, if root 3x is out, from this, what will be left? Root 3 is out, root x is out. What is left? Only root 2. That is the reason in the bracket I am writing root 2. Okay? Write it. Please write it. Do not try to understand it orally. You will not understand. Okay? Write it. Now see this. When I take these terms, first thing is, what is common in both of the two terms? Which term is common? Root 2. Yes? So that I am taking common. What is left in this? One root 3 is left and one x is left. So root 3x. In this term, what is left? Root 2 is out. What is left is root 2. Okay. So that is written here. Now see at this step, both the brackets are same. Root 3x minus root 2, root 3x minus root 2. It means whatever we have done is correct. And then you can exactly do by the same way what we have done. See, again we are getting same roots. So we are not going to write it two times. We will simply write it once. Root 3x minus root 2 is equal to 0. Shift this root 2 this side. It will become plus root 2. From here we can get the value of x if I divide it. So x is nothing but root 2 upon root 3. We got the answer. Same answer we are getting two times. So we are writing this as the final answer. Root 2 upon root 3. Root 2 upon root 3 are the roots of the equation. They are equal roots. Okay. This sum, again I am quickly revising the steps. First step is multiply these two. I am getting it as 6. Correct? While factorizing, since the middle term is having root 6, I am writing root 6 and root 6. Then since it is minus, we will write both minus, because this adding I will get minus 2. Okay. Then increase this additional steps. 3 is written as root 3 into root 3. Root 6 is written as root 3 into root 2. Correct? And 2 is written as root 2 into root 2. And then take common. Right? I hope now it is understood to you. Yes? Write and then try to understand step by step. It will become clear. Now with this, I am going to end my session giving you practice sums as homework. It is actually the remaining sums which I have not done from this particular exercise. Each and every type I have covered so that you will find it easy to do. You will do this in your notebook wherever you are solving these sums. Okay? So complete this and we will continue the remaining in the next session. Thank you.